Welcome everyone to the 5th grade graduation of Tuf Shin Pei. This graduation has been worked on, and not only by the administration, rebbeim, and teachers of the elementary school division, but it's actually been a cumulative effort. Multiple divisions, the middle school division, the high school division. We met via Zoom, we met in person, we came down to the campus, across the street on this side to really see what we can do, and the collective efforts and creativity allowed this to happen after much work and planning, and we'd like to thank the other divisions for their help. I also wanted to acknowledge the presence of Rabbi Ephraim Palgan, who was here, and our administration, Rabbi Bauman and Rabbi Gavriel Grossman. I also wanted to acknowledge the presence and thank the teachers of the boys, the Rebbe and teacher, Rabbi Schnidman and Mrs. Schuker, and of course, the boys' lifeline here in school, Mrs. Tamir. This graduation could not have come to be without the efforts of so many people who were involved, Rabbi Roth, Isaac, and the entire crew taking care of our physical campus, not only for today's event, but throughout the year, just putting all their efforts in day in and day out, and especially for this event. Our IT team, under the leadership of Avram Eliezer Friedman, have not only carried a huge load of the distance learning that we've been experiencing over the last number of months, but have also been very involved in the planning and logistics of our graduations. Thank you so much. And finally to Carlos Chata in his professional style, and he's been such a pleasure to work with. Thank you so much, everyone. Throughout the years here in school, throughout this year, and certainly during the last few months of these unprecedented and unusual times, the yeshiva has benefited from strong leadership. Rabbi Bauman has, with his experience, wisdom, and strength, led us through thick and thin, keeping a constant focus on the needs of our Talmidim and how we can best service them. It is an honor and privilege to call upon Rabbi Bauman to address the boys on this very special occasion.
Mazel Tov. Thank you, Rabbi Grossman. Rabbi Grossman left out one of the thank yous, perhaps the most important. We only went ahead with this in-person graduation because of Rabbi Grossman's insistence, his love for the boys, and his drive and his passion to make sure that we had a celebration that was befitting the boys and was as exciting as possible in order to celebrate this very important milestone in the boys' lives. I would like to A graduation is an opportunity to reflect back and to look to the future. And I would like to share an idea, a thought that comes to mind, and it's a lesson that we've been thinking about. We're celebrating today 5 years of hard work, of efforts, of stick-to-itiveness. But of course, what's on our minds are the last 3 months and how unexpected and perhaps disappointing things that we were counting on were taken away, things that were always in place are missing. And this is perhaps a great opportunity to be able to focus on a very important lesson in life. And I'd like to share with you some words of Chazal and a story. And when something is taken away from us, as I said, our tendency is to feel bad. But we have to realize sometimes when we're missing something, when something doesn't go the way we thought it would, it turns out for the best. The story of Yaakov Avinu, when his sons, the 12 tribes, brought him to Eretz Yisrael for burial. I think the boys all know the story that he passed away in Mitzrayim, and they went back to Eretz Canaan. And as the Medrash tells us, when they approached Hebron, the Ma'aras HaMachpelah, none other than Esav popped up and said, Yaakov does not have a right to be buried in the Ma'aras HaMachpelah. I, Esav, have the right. I'm the firstborn. And they got involved in an argument back and forth with the 12 tribes, with the sons. They said, what do you mean? You sold it. And he said, oh yeah, prove it. And according to the Medrash, went back and forth until the brothers ended up saying, okay, the deed, the shtar that proves that Esav sold the Bechorah to Yaakov is back in Mitzrayim. Let's send Naphtali. He's very quick. He'll go get him. And there was one person who was there, and he didn't quite follow what was going on. That one person was Chushim ben Dan, a grandson of Yaakov Avinu. Chushim ben Dan was hard of hearing. Chushim ben Dan was unaware of what had been going on, the back and forth and the discussion and the argument. He just saw that everything had stopped. And his grandfather, the holy tzaddik Yaakov Avinu, was just there, and we weren't getting to bury him. So he said, what's going on here? What's the delay? Why are we stopped? And they start telling him, well, we came to Ma'aras HaMachpelah, but Esav said this, and we said this. And he said, what? He said, my grandfather Yaakov, he should have to wait and disgrace while we're waiting to do the mitzvah of burying him? He said, get out of my way. And he went over and he took care of Esav. And that was the end of Esav. How was Chushim able to do this? It wasn't despite the fact that he was hard of hearing. It was precisely because he was hard of hearing. He was missing the ability to hear, which is a seemingly very tragic disability, and yet it turned into a tremendous advantage because he wasn't distracted. He was able to do what needed to be done. I want to tell you an amazing story that brings out the same point. The story is of a young man who loved Eretz Yisrael very much. And he decided he was going to volunteer and join the Israeli army. And he left his family, went to Eretz Yisrael, became what's known as a lone soldier, a Chayal Boded. And he joined, and he was in a combat unit, and just a few weeks after he joined, he was in a terribly fierce battle, and he got badly wounded. He ended up in the hospital, and the result was he lost an arm. He was left without one of his arms. And he became terribly depressed. And it was very difficult for him. He was all alone. He felt so bad for himself. He wasn't motivated to do anything. He didn't know what he was going to do with himself. And people came and they tried to encourage him and they gave him ideas of what he should try to do, and nothing seemed to work. And one day, somebody came up with a very outrageous idea. Why don't you learn karate? It sounded crazy, but he had nothing else. So he tried, he started, he got himself a coach, and the coach started training him. And you know what? He wasn't bad. And the coach kept training him until one day the coach said to him, you know what? You are ready for a tournament. You can compete. You're so good. He said, that doesn't make any sense. He said, trust me. So he entered the tournament, and he won the first round. And then he progressed, and he won the quarterfinals. And then he won the semifinals. And he was in the finals against the champion. It was completely unexpected, but there he was. And his coach kept working with him, and he trained him for this final competition. And he said, one thing you must do, the coach said. You must do this following maneuver. And he explained to him this particular maneuver, and he tried it, and he practiced it, and he was ready with this maneuver. And finally, the great competition came, and lo and behold, it was a fierce competition. And even though he didn't expect to win, he was still in, and he tried this maneuver that the coach kept insisting on. And he did the maneuver, and his opponent couldn't get back at him, and he won the competition. He won the finals. He was the new champion. And everybody was cheering, and everybody was slapping him on the back, and they were all so excited for him, and he really felt good, and he felt like he had his life back to him. But he had one more question, and he went over to his coach, and he said, I'm so excited and I'm so appreciative. Tell me, why did you insist on that one maneuver? What was it about that maneuver that you were so convinced was going to work? And the coach told him, and listen carefully, because this is the lesson. He said, that maneuver, the only way to defend against that maneuver is for your opponent to grab your right arm. But you don't have a right arm, so he cannot defend against it. And that's why you won. And the message that we all have to take is sometimes when something is missing, something doesn't go our way, we think, you know, this happened to me, I'm helpless, I can't do anything about it. We have to realize it could be precisely the thing that's missing, precisely the thing that's not working out, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has orchestrated to make it, that we will become true champions. It's my bracha to all the boys. We're going to miss you as you move on, and we wish you well, and we're very confident that you will have continued hatzlacha, no matter what you're missing, no matter what circumstances might throw at you, because you've shown for the last 3 months how to do it, how not to just blame somebody else or say, I'm helpless and I'm hopeless. No, because we understand that when Hashem gives us things and when He takes them away, it's in order to give us the tools to become champions. And you are all champions, and Mitzvah Hashem, you will continue to be as you go through life, bringing your parents and your teachers nachas, and we wish you all a very big mazel tov.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi Bauman. Our boys have grown so much during their time here in Torah's Emes. We are about to hear their own reflections of their experiences during their time here. We're going to see a video presentation of their pre-recorded messages. This video would not have been possible without the superhuman effort and expertise of Rabbi Schiff, who pulled his magic yet again and put together these presentations. These are their original thoughts. We're so proud to share with you our graduating class of 2020. I'm going to invite our Hanhola and Rebbeim to take their chairs and move them out so that we can join everyone in watching the video presentation. Please turn your attention to the screens.
moment that I've experienced with my class for learning Gemara. We have so much fun learning it, especially with Rabbi Schneeman. He teaches it with so much passion. He really is an amazing rabbi. A very meaningful memory that I have from elementary school is that every time that my feelings were hurt, I always had the option to go talk to Rabbi Grossman and Mrs. Marlowe. They were always there to listen and help me. I will remember them for the rest of my life. And now, I want to thank all the other great teachers who made a change in my life, especially in these hard times. You are the best teachers ever. Keep doing what you guys do. I would also like to thank my parents for giving me this opportunity to go to this school. You are the best parents ever. To my fellow classmates, I wish you all the best. Middle school, here we come.
One thing I will never forget from elementary school is when Rabbi Grossman made the Shine program. This helped us change our behavior. For example, we changed by having less fights and there was no more name calling. We all changed for the better. A special moment that I experienced with my class was when we went to play baseball with the entire class. We all got to spend time together and we had so much fun. It was the best experience ever. I feel that I have become a more mature and responsible student this year. I feel that I am now ready for the challenges of middle school. I would like to thank all those who helped me reach this important milestone. Thank you, Rabbi Schneeman, for teaching me Gemara. My rabbi made a huge impact on me. His teaching was from his heart to my heart. Mrs. Shuker, thank you for teaching me to type, reading comprehension, math, and history. I am sure it will benefit me in middle school. Thank you very much.
This past year in 5th grade, I grew tremendously in my understanding Mishnahs as I started learning Gemara. Gemara goes deeper into the halachos of the Mishnah and resolves questions from the Mishnahs. Therefore, it really helps me understand the Mishnahs on a deeper level. One of my most meaningful memories from elementary school was when we had a concert in school with Simcha Liner for the Shine program. It was surprising and exciting that we had a concert with one of my favorite singers on a regular school day. It was fun to see my friends who go to middle school since both schools went because it was a special event. Something that I will miss tremendously is the Erev Shabbos at Sunday, and I would like to say thank you for making it every week. Now that I'm done with elementary school, I would like to say thank you to a few people. First to my parents, for always helping me with everything I needed for school and for being there to chaperone trips. Then to my teachers who helped me learn everything I know. I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Lee for always being there whenever I needed her.
One of the ways I grew this year by learning Gemara. Gemara was something that really changed my life in so many ways. From learning with my Rebbe to studying it with my father and reviewing with my grandparents. It is something that I will never forget. My most meaningful memory from elementary school was in 1st grade when I learned Kriya and script letters. I felt so good with this tremendous accomplishment. It was one of the greatest highlights of my life. I would like to thank several people who helped me reach this milestone. First, I would like to thank my amazing teachers who helped me learn so much. They pushed me to challenge myself and learn new and exciting topics. I would also like to thank both Rabbi Grossmans for all their help and guidance. Finally, I would like to thank my parents who encouraged, motivated, and helped me become the person I am today.
Hello teachers, Rebbes, and friends. We did it. I want to start off by saying thank you to my mom and dad, teachers and Rebbes, and most of all Hashem, for guiding me through this journey. I couldn't have done it without you. Even though we faced these hard times, we still managed to pull it off. Social distancing is one of the biggest and toughest challenges we have to face. But thanks to all to our SEMA staff, they made it feel like we were still in school. I enjoyed all the activities and learning we did on long distance learning and Google Classroom. I remember the first time I went to the walkathon. It was so much fun, and there was delicious hot dogs, chips, and sodas. To top it all off, I want to say thank you for all your hard work.
A meaningful memory I have from elementary school is when I started learning Gemara. It was a very fun experience, and it is a pleasure to learn with Rabbi Schneeman. A way in which I grew this year was when we learned poetry with Mrs. Shuker and that I met with Rabbi Schneeman. I'd like to thank my parents and all my rabbis, teachers, family members, and friends for helping me achieve this special milestone.
A special moment I experienced with my class was when we went to the baseball field. Then my mother got the whole class Slurpees. A meaningful memory is when I started to learn Gemara. I would like to thank all those who helped me reach this important milestone. Rabbi Schneeman, my parents, Mrs. Shuker, and most importantly, Hashem.
that I really grew this year in Gemara. I began 5th grade not knowing how to read Gemara, and now I know how to read Gemara very well. I remember feeling really excited for my class Gemara celebration and even more excited when I finished my first stop. I would like to express my tremendous appreciation to my parents, rebellion teachers, and to Mrs. Zamir who helped me reach this important milestone. Thank you. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to all my Rebbeim teachers for helping me achieve and succeed. Every day, school resumes, I come in with a smile on my face, ready to learn. I appreciate all the great things Torah Semes has done for me, and I'll remember it forever. I want to thank Rabbi Schneid and Mrs. Shuker for teaching me a tremendous amount and helping me grow. I have much appreciation for all the effort and time they put in to make this important milestone take place. And of course, I want to thank Hashem and my wonderful parents.
A very meaningful memory from elementary school is when we had the walkathon. It was fun and we raised a lot of money for tzedakah. A teacher who made a very big difference in my life is Ms. Shuker. She made me a more serious student and hard worker. Thank you, Ms. Shuker. I would like to thank my parents and all my teachers who helped me reach this important milestone. Thank you for helping me grow ITCTE.
One way I grew this year is in essay writing with Mrs. Shuker. I also grew with Rabbi Schneidman by learning a new language in Gemara. One memory I have from elementary school is when I first got my Gemara that I've been waiting for since 2nd grade. To conclude, I'd like to thank my parents. Nurturing a young seed takes a lot of patience, and I have so much appreciation for them. I also would like to thank my Rebbeim teachers and my uncle and my grandmother for helping me along the way. Filling a student with knowledge takes a lot of patience too. Thank you.
The thing that I have learned most from this year is Gemara. Sometimes it is a little hard to understand what the Gemara is telling me, but after I review it, I understand it much better. A meaningful memory that I have from elementary school is the Lag BaOmer Carnival. It was really enjoyable playing all those games and sports. I would like to thank my parents and all those Rebbeim teachers who helped me reach this important milestone.
One important thing that I learned in Torah Semes is how to learn with friends. Not just interacting with friends on the surface, but really diving into the text. That is something that really made a difference to me, and I'll carry that with me forever. Reflecting back at my years in Torah Semes, I remember the meaningful moment when we started learning Gemara. The room was full of excitement and thought. It was not just something to learn, it was something to really take to heart. Thank you to all my Rebbeim, teachers, friends, and family who have made my education in 5th grade possible. Thank you.
When I first came to Torah Semes in 2nd grade, I didn't know anyone. At the beginning, it was hard to get used to everything new, but Baruch Hashem, very quickly, everyone was very kind and welcoming. A special moment for me that I will remember was Asrachat Gemara. I was filled with excitement and thrilled to finally learn Gemara. Baruch Hashem, I feel that I grew this year learning and understanding Gemara and trying to judge people favorably and being more than just a chassid. I want to thank Hashem for guiding me and giving me the ability to understand everything I learned in school. And to my parents for sending me to this amazing school, bringing me every morning and helping me with everything I needed. And to my amazing teachers for everything they taught me, and to all my friends and classmates for being awesome, for being there for me, and all the fun and unforgettable memories we shared together.
A teacher that made a big difference in my life was Rabbi Schneidman because he taught me how to learn Gemara and made it fun while we were learning it. A meaningful memory from elementary school is when I learned my first pasuk in 1st grade with Rabbi Reuben. It was my first Yom and an unforgettable one. I want to give a big thanks to all my Rebbeim teachers, classmates, and parents that helped me reach this important milestone. Without them, I would not be the person I am today.
A teacher that made a big difference in my life is Mrs. Shuker. When we were in other grades, the teachers treat us like little kids, but she treated us like adults and made us more responsible. A meaningful memory in elementary school was when we went to the baseball field to play baseball in 5th grade. It was meaningful because it showed how much our teachers would do for us even outside of school. Also, it was so fun because it was our whole entire class playing a baseball game. I would like to thank my parents and all my Rebbeim teachers for helping me reach this important milestone. Mazel tov, everyone.
One way I grew this year was my leaders for being a leader. At lunch, I had to be extra nice to the younger students, and we do agree with the first graders. When the first grader got it wrong, I had to correct him nicely. A meaningful memory from elementary school was field day. I saw a lot of kids having good leaders with each other, and when one team lost, the other team did not brag. They just left the Zoom meeting. I would now like to thank my Rebbeim and teachers and parents who helped me reach this important milestone.
One special moment I shared with my class was when we went to the trip to the baseball park where we played baseball with all of our friends. A meaningful experience from my elementary school years that I will always remember was learning Mishnayos with Rabbi Schneeman in a small group together with my friends. I would like to thank all my teachers throughout my years at KES for teaching me so many valuable lessons. I would not be the person I am today without my teachers. Thank you, Rabbi Schneeman, Ms. Shuker, Rabbi Mon, Rabbi Kamensky, Rabbi Chait, Ms. Scott, Rabbi Grossman, and Ms. Cardenas. I would also like to thank my principal, Rabbi Bauman, and the assistant principal, Rabbi N. Grossman, for doing everything they can to make our school as interesting as possible. We had amazing carnivals, assemblies, and guest speakers. I'm looking forward to middle school, and I am excited to meet my new teachers.
One way I grew this year is with my meetups. I think I became much nicer. One meaningful memory I have from elementary school is when I first started to learn Gemara. This is a meaningful memory for me because it is a big step in my life. I would like to thank all my teachers who taught me throughout elementary school, especially Rabbi Schneeman, who taught me my first daf of Gemara. I would also like to thank my amazing parents for sending me to this amazing school. Thank you for coming.
One of the most meaningful memories from KES was from this past year, when we started to learn Gemara. We began to learn our first Amud in our journey through Talmud Bavli and Yerushalmi. I'd like to thank all my Rebbeim teachers, but especially Rabbi Schneeman, who worked with me a few Masechtas and taught us our first Amud in Gemara with a geschmack and a love for Torah. Last but not least, I'd like to thank all my Rebbeim teachers who brought me to the level that I'm on now, especially during these difficult times when they put in a tremendous amount of effort for us to continue learning.
A meaningful memory from elementary school was in first grade when I got my first chumash by the chumash play. That was the first stage of our learning, which eventually continued with Mishnayos and Gemara. A special moment I experienced with my class was the first time I started learning Gemara. It was the first step to the Gemara learning that I will do for the rest of my life. I love how Gemara is very logical and stimulates my brain. I would like to thank Rabbi Schneeman for teaching me how to learn Gemara and Mrs. Shuker for helping me improve my writing and preparing me for middle school. I would also like to thank my father for always learning with me and my mother for showing me good meals.
Who would have thought a traffic jam can sound so good? If you would have told me a few months ago that I'd be standing here at our carpool line addressing an entire class worth of cars, I'm not sure what I would have thought. But after reflecting on it, I realized that I think there can be an incredible lesson from having our graduation on the carpool line. You see, carpool is a simple thing that you just have to do. To get to school, your parents need to come to the carpool line. We don't really think about it very much. It just kind of happens. And it's true. It happens. But it takes time. It takes effort. And it happens because your parents take time every single day to make it happen. You're graduating 5th grade right now. That means you went through preschool and you went through elementary school. You've been through 7, 8 years of school. Every day you needed to come, and every day you needed to leave. Let's assume for a moment that it takes about a half hour to do carpool. I know that's being generous. It's a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the afternoon, every day. Yes, maybe your parents took turns with other parents. They didn't have to do it every day, but they had to do it multiple times a week. And that amounts to hundreds of hours a year. Over the years, it amounts to thousands of hours. If they didn't do carpool, they sent you on the bus, which amounts to thousands of dollars. Either way, they invested a tremendous amount into just getting you to and from school every day. This is one tiny piece that we don't really think about of what your parents have done to help bring you to this moment. What about lunches and dinners that they make every day? What about everything that they buy you? On Pesach, one of the famous songs that we sing at the Seder is Dayenu. We thank Hashem for so many things that He did for us during Yetzias Mitzrayim. And we highlight each one separately. Gilu Hotzionu Mitzrayim. We discuss taking us out of Mitzrayim, punishing our enemies, giving us wealth, giving us the Torah, giving us Shabbos, taking us to Eretz Yisrael. And the question is asked, it's a beautiful song, why is this really necessary? Why not just say, Hashem, thanks for everything? The answer is, because we need to stop and appreciate every little piece. We can so easily not realize just how many things our parents do for us. And what about our rebbeim and teachers? How many worksheets did you get every school year? Now, yes, you may not have been so happy about every single worksheet, but it takes a long time to create every one of those. And it takes a long time to grade it. And how many lessons needed to be prepared? And you go beyond the classroom teachers. How many hours did Rabbi G. Grossman spend on creating an incredible lunch programs where you got to be leaders every day? Spent an hour every day just in the lunchroom. And how many hours did it take to create the Shine program? How many Band-Aids and ice packs did Mrs. Tamir give you over your years in Torah Emes? How many times did she call home for you? And of course, everything that we have, everything that we get through any person, all comes from Hashem. We don't know Hashem's plans and why the coronavirus needed to come. But one positive step that has happened is that we can appreciate what we've previously taken for granted. So much that used to be normal and expected is not so normal and expected anymore. And it helps us appreciate what it is that we have. Boys, I'd like to finish with a bracha. Please take the opportunities to appreciate what you have. You have so many kochos that Hashem has given you, so many strengths, so much that you've gotten from your parents, from your rebbeim, from your teachers. Please take what you've been given and fly and bring us so much nachas. Mazel tov. The next segment in our program is going to be to distribute the diplomas as well as a special gift, which is a beautiful personalized siddur to each student. In order to maintain social distancing, we're going to be staggering the students you're going to get a signal either from Rabbi Grossman or Rabbi Schneidman when it's your turn to come up. When you come up, please approach the table where one of the two tables where Mrs. Shuker is standing, and come stand on the stage. The photographer is going to take a picture of you, which we'll be able to share with you. And please, everyone should stay in your cars as we welcome and congratulate each one of our students. Mikey Roth. A great student who is sensitive and kind. Mazel tov, Mikey. Yosef Dubkowski. Exciting, driven, with leadership qualities. Mazel tov, Yosef. Dov Ber Shapiro. A boy who loves to learn, is kind and responsible. Mazel tov, Dov Ber. Shaya Shapiro. Helpful, cooperative, with a true love for learning. Mazel tov, Shaya. Yosef Grossman. A sweet boy who is respectful and passionate in his learning. Mazel tov, Yosef. Yosef Mizrahi. Responsible, studious, with beautiful midos. Mazel tov, Yosef. David Amar. Sensitive, well-spoken, and fun-loving. Mazel tov, David. Shaya Clag. A mature thinker, well-spoken and popular. Mazel tov, Shaya. Moshe Chaim Eisenstein. Bright, kind, and a strong student. Mazel tov, Moshe Chaim. Ari Feld. Creative, kind, with a great sense of humor, Mazel tov, Ari. Yaakov Stoll. A great student, respectful, and loves to learn. Mazel tov, Yaakov. Nehorai Lasry. Respectful, sweet, and sensitive to others. Mazel tov, Nehorai. Yona Jaraslowitz. Hardworking, sweet, and so respectful. Mazel tov, Yona. Yaakov Kersner. A strong student, a good friend with beautiful midos. Mazel tov, Yaakov. Rafi Breyer. A critical thinker who is creative and kind. Mazel tov, Rafi. Yaakov Nahon. A good friend, a serious worker who loves to help. Mazel tov, Yaakov. Yona Pravalsky. Sweet, fun, and loves to learn. Mazel tov, Yona. David Heller. Sweet, friendly, with wonderful midos. Mazel tov, David. Nelson Goldenberg. Sweet, studious with a great sense of humor, Mazel Tov Nassan. Itamar Asor. A hard worker who is responsible and fun. Mazel Tov Itamar. Avner Daniera. Cooperative, loyal, and friendly. Mazel Tov Avner. Let's have another big round of honking, I guess, for the graduating class of Taf Shin Pei. The last part of our program, before we begin dismissing everyone, which will also be a process, the last part is another audio-visual presentation reviewing this year as well as earlier experiences that the boys have had with us here in Torah Samis. Again, we'd like to thank Rabbi Schiff, who simply continues to outdo himself time and time again. Please join us as we see the video screens with our magic moments of our 5th grade graduates.
ביקשתי בן, נתת לי, ביקשתי בת, נתת לי, ביקשתי בית עם המון ברכה, למשפחה, את הפרנסה, נתת לי, את הבריאות, נתת לי, וגם את כל החסד בחיי, עד נידי, אבל אני יודע שיש עוד דבר, והוא בעצם העיקר. התפללתי ושמעת, נתת לי הכל. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. ביקשתי בן, נתת לי, ביקשתי בת, נתת לי, ביקשתי בית עם המון ברכה, למשפחה, את הפרנסה, נתת לי, את הבריאות, נתת לי, וגם את כל החסד בחיי, עד בלי די, אבל אני יודע שיש עוד דבר, והוא בעצם העיקר. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. ויזכו לראות בנים, בנים ובני בנים, עוסקים בתורה יש עוד דבר, והוא בעצם העיקר. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני עומד ומבקש, אני רוצה לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. מי יזכו לראות בנים, בנים ובני בנים, עוסקים בתורה ובמצוות ובמצוות. מי יזכו לראות בנים, בנים ובני בנים, עוסקים בתורה ובמצוות ובמצוות.
Each day we enter school, proud to be a part of something where we all belong.
Handing over all the tools, set out with the goal of one thing, that we're growing strong. You encourage us to climb, reaching for our full potential. Give us what we need, making sure that we will shine. You impart what's most essential, so that we can lead. And you will watch us grow and grow and grow, even more than you could ever know. Oh, here we are, we're building generations. We will go far as leaders of our nation. YTCT, Yeshiva is the place where it starts and it lasts for eternity.
Mazel Tov, graduates. 2 announcements. Before anyone leaves, please make sure we have from the teachers, from Rabbi Schneidman and Mrs. Shuker, a special graduation bag with some parting gifts, including the yearbook, which Mrs. Shuker has spent so much time on creating. Before you leave, make sure that you'll be getting your bag. There are personalized things in there, so they are individual. Rabbi Schneidman and Mrs. Shuker are going to be going around. Once you have your bag, you may exit. If you have an option of just going straight out and just going straight out through 163rd Street. If you'd like, the photographer is staying, and you can take a picture with your family. If you'd like to leave, make an immediate left when you reach the end of the line. If you'd like to stay for a picture, then continue straight before making that turn. Hope that's clear to everyone. Mazel Tov, best wishes. Sounds like it's not clear to everyone. Let me say that again. If you want to leave, after you get your bag, make the first left. The first left is if you want to leave. If you'd like to stay for the picture, then please make the second left on your way out. You'll be directed when you get there, depending on which option you choose. Mazel Tov, much hatzlacha to everyone in middle school and in life. We love you and we will miss you. And nachas to everyone. Mazel Tov.
Bishul